And well, surprise, surprise, it's actually Arena. And well, that's a good map. So that actually makes me think that maybe the first map wasn't LeO's home map. Because this is definitely something that LeOs know how to play. So the first migration might have been VNs. And if that is the case, then we are going to be seeing LeO's famous strategy for the season that has brought them quite enough successes. And it might be just coming for another one if VNs are not careful enough, but maybe they have watched their recordings so they will know what is coming, especially with the Turks from High Tower. So High Tower is going to be the one slung. And is he on the flank? Yes, he is. So that's definitely a pretty nice bonus for him. And he's going to be flanking against Aztecs. I think that's actually pretty good for them. Because Aztecs, they are reliant on heavy infantry, and that means that hand cannoneers with bombard cannons would be pretty good counter for that, shouldn't it? Shouldn't they? Okay, so that seems like pretty good spawn for LeOs. And let's see if they can turn that into effective strategy for them. Otherwise, the decent base for him, not really any kind of problem with the resources in the front of his base. There is nothing extra. Sci-Fly is going to be having easy time to help him with walling about here. He should be walling from here to this gate. I would be thinking to capture all those 3 goals. That would be pretty sweet for them. And otherwise, the pocket is, of course, Aztec. And I'm thinking that he's going to be full on slinging, but I would be expecting a bit more Mayans to be slinging. But in this composition, I'm fairly certain that it's going to be the Aztec. And he's probably going to be slinging into both of them. As Mayans are also super strong on this map. And facing against Celts, that's not ideal for a Mayan, of course. Celts are having a pretty decent amount of counters to any kind of archers and whatnot in not only the siege units but also in the woe traders are not how bad against those units. And well, yeah, pretty tough times coming for Arteras. So let's see if this replacement in the game is going to be having a nice one or not. I'm predicting not much. Or at the back with the gold mines and stone mine as well, so that's pretty decent. The one stone mine in the front and a lot of gold between him and his opponent Dark Knight. So this is going to be hotly contested. I would be expecting once they advance into Castle Ages and further. And well, this is kind of funny wall that is gonna be torn down because of the sheep and whatnot. There is something, a bit of a battle in here between the Scout Cavalry and the Eagle Warrior, because of course this guy is kind of halfway dead and is no match for the higher attacking Eagle Warrior, of course. Yeah, that's of course a bit of a problem. So he's just leading him around, and yeah, he wanted to go home. That was pretty clear, but he just didn't want to let him in inside the base. That would be even worse option than what is already happening. Yeah, so that Melancholy and Sci-Fly, oh, just missing it. I'm fairly certain that the scout is dead. It's going to be just a question of time, just running away with 1 hit point, but yeah, it's just waiting for the mistake in here. But at least he might be able to actually run into safety. And he isn't, just opting not to do so, but he definitely cannot even lure this board, so that's going to be up to the villagers. And well, that's already going to be happening in just a matter of moments. The scout in here, yeah, he's dead. Slowly, very slowly, running away. But since there's absolutely nothing happening on the map so far, of course, we are having all the time that we can spare on this very interesting race in here. And who makes the mistake first? I'm fairly certain that the scout is just going to be somewhere making a mistake sooner rather than later. And oh, this could have been it. This actually could have been it if Melancholy wasn't paying attention somewhere else. And oh my, they did it. They actually really did it. Melancholy did have a pretty good opportunity to kill him, and he didn't because he was looking somewhere else just now, saying that was, I don't know what it means, but I would be expecting something like, that's not possible, how did that happen, or something like that. And 1 hit point scout was able to out-micro him together with help, of course, from other Eagle Warrior, from Aztec Sci-Fly, but that was interesting fight in here at the very start. Well, that's of course a bit of a problem for Melancholy, because he's probably going to be missing few sheep, as he's just now saying in there. But these two are they grey or not? They almost look like that they actually aren't, that they are just Gaias. So that means that he's going to be missing sheep, and that's not ideal for his start, obviously, because you can see he's already running out, going for full-on farms and berries, and that could basically slow him down a bit even more. He's having extra sheep at the back, switching into Melancholy to confirm if he knows about it. He knows about it, but he doesn't know about the front ones. So that's not ideal at all, and this might really disrupt this gameplay. And that little, seemingly insignificant play in there might actually prove quite important for the minutes to come. Well, who would have thought before the game began that this might be something that we will see. Otherwise, in the base is not really anything all that interesting, not really safe stone, but the gold is very nice from Milo in the pocket, so he's going to be quite happy about this, especially having the extra stone at the back, so he doesn't need to worry about anything, like literally at all. Not much happening really, as the yellow player is still not having anything happening inside his base. Just now finishing with the boar. That was already the second one, it seems like. And we are going to be seeing the advances into Feudal Ages, as Milo is going to be first, Melancholy and Dark Knight behind them, and LeO's advancing slightly slower in here. So that they want to be having a slightly better economy, and that, yeah, is exactly what I was talking about a bit earlier, that they are going to be slinging into the Turk and hoping that he can steamroll his opponent, Melancholy, who is just about now going to be a bit set back because of the unfortunate happenings with the Eagle Warrior at the start of the game. But Red definitely should be careful about this. He probably is right now going there with the villager and maybe plug in it with, I don't know, barracks or house or anything. Yeah, just with the house it seems. And looking at the building counts, as the players are advancing to the next ages, it seems like that VNs are 24, 24, 25. With 26, 27 and just 24 for Hightower. So Hightower is kinda interestingly slow to advance, to be honest. Be expecting that he could be on par with the other guys, especially looking at the amount of villages. But of course, Sci-Fi and Arteras will be having stronger echo, so they are going to be quite nicely prepared for slinging into their ally. What to talk about here? Nice gold, actually very nice gold, ×2 for a Dark Knight. He doesn't need to worry about any kind of raiding at all, and the stone also nicely positioned at the back, so the one in the front, where is the one in the front? Actually outside the base, is not all that important for him, as obviously it doesn't matter all that much if he happens to lose it. Right now, another action with Eagle Warrior and Scout. Right now it's going to be Arteras. Oh, on the shorter end of the stick. Oh, he's actually gonna let him in. And he's gonna die anyway. Oh well, that's a traitor. That was exactly what we have seen Hightower trying to avoid at the top. But it isn't really avoided in here, and that's pretty bad. Because if Dark Knight plays this correctly and leaves the scout alive, he's going to be seeing exactly what their opponents are doing. If Arteras is jumping castle or slinging, and right now he's going to be seeing that he is going to be jumping into the castle, and that means that he doesn't need to worry about him being double slinging or anything into the Turkish player. So market, blacksmith of course. You release on gold, decent amount of stone, so that's basically telling us that he will be dropping a castle as soon as he advances in Castle Age. It should be expected. Be quite nicely ready for it. And well, you can see that Dark Knight is not really minding all that much, but oh, he doesn't have Loom. Oh yes, he doesn't have Loom. Well, that was a horrible decision then from Arteras, and I'm fairly certain that he actually went into the fight because he thought that he was having Loom, and in that case it is a good idea to fight the scout, but without Loom that's a horrible one, and he just lost 2 villages. Oh my, that's going to set him back so strongly. So he waited for the better economy with more villages to advance a bit later into the next age, and right now, well, yeah, that advantage is all but gone. That wasn't really good play by him, so let's hope for him and for all LeOs that it's not going to somehow... what is the word that I was looking for? Or that is not going to really disrupt his game all that much. Market and advance into Castle Age for Hightower, so let's check if the sling is already in place. Yes, it is. And oh, from VNs it's actually much faster and much better, because you can see that, oh, it's actually double sling. Almost seems like. VN, Dark Knight and Melancholy are both going into Milo, into Mayan. That's a good choice. And LeO Arteras is not slinging, Sci-Fly is slinging fully into high tower. Oh, it's almost looking like that LeOs are actually gonna get their own medicine and quite strongly. You can see he's already setting up to the left side. Milo having a bit of fun with the Wolfie, but he does have Loom. And well, castle being dropped to basically defend his ally and also to be quite close to the opposing Mayan. And that's not a bad choice at all, because the Mayan is a potential threat and will be forcing the Turkish player on the right side to maybe even go for help. It's not something that LeOs will be wanting at all. Now let's see. Let us see. Already preparing as you would be expecting. The siege workshop, bow saw and such. Decent amount of villages on the gold. And he really needs to work himself somehow to wall this left part of the map, because he will need the gold sooner rather than later. He is a Turk, going into Imperial just about now, but I'm thinking that the Mile won't be far behind with the double sling. And he just now clicked, exactly as I switched into him. So yep, that's going to be a pretty nasty surprise for the opponents, as this castle, well, I would have liked it to either cover the gold or the stone. I don't think it really covers either of them at this position. So I'm not exactly sure if this position is correct. I would maybe like it behind the gates, just to basically cover both of these golds. And even though he doesn't know that it would be kind of not ideal anyway because of the double sling, it still would have been better than this, I think, at least. Now the siege workshop, we are going to be coming up with archery ranges for the red player. Going to be a huge panic attack, I think, when Milo advances just a few seconds after high tower. And let's see if actually Grey is already preparing for this. I don't think that he actually will be, because of the double sling. And since the double sling is still continuing, in 100, yes it is. So that's still double sling. And well, let's see, because if the Mayan, with the help from Sci-Fly, some bit of slinging into him as well, can be holding long enough against the double slang Milo, I'm fairly certain that the Turkish player is just going to steamroll over the Aztec. It's going to be very easy for him without any kind of military opposition, but at the same time, it's not like the plumed archers aren't going to be a pretty nice counter to all those hand cannoneers in there. So aggressive castle drop exactly at the spot where I was saying that actually Arteras should have dropped the castle. And this is going to be very easy for him, because you can see that Arteras is not expecting anything like this. Switching into his point of view. Yeah, he has, oh, he actually sees it. So he's going in there, but with the army already being kind of double from Milo. Yeah, well, good luck with that. There's of course not going to be any kind of problem at all, as he cannot do anything with this because of the sheer number of the archers that are just guarding this castle being dropped. So let's return to the back, to the right side, where high tower is already pumping first hand cannoneers and going to be switching into bombard cannons pretty soon as well. Yeah, already being done. And well, that's a bit too late. You had the right idea that something will be coming, Melancholy, but yeah, it is already here. So you are a bit too late. And of course, you are not going to be having any kind of defense against this, as it's going to be all up to the purple player. As neither the grey one or the green one are going to be defending in here. So let's see, as you already see the switch of plumed archers to the right side, as he's going to be attempting to defend against the Turk. Really thinking that he should be having a very easy time of that, especially because of the double sling and the archers being kinda naturally good against hand cannoneers, who are having just 0 pierce attack. Where are the plumed archers? I'm just missing them, and they are having at least 1, so of course they are going to be pretty decent. The attack of course of hand cannoneers is quite much better, but with the spamming ability that is much more in the favor of Milo. Well, I'm fully expecting that this is not going to be all that easy for him to deal with. And I'm talking of high tower just about now. But he needs to really deal the damage, not really promenade around. Oh, that was a nice hit. That was a nice hit with the bombard cannon, and if he can micro this properly, Milo will actually have to do a whole lot better than he's doing so far. You can see that, yeah, in the end, not having any kind of luck, even though I was thinking that he might be. and he is at the same time still pushing forward into yellow's base, who is forced into second row of walls. Fortunately, castle is gone, and I'm fairly certain that he's not going to be having all that much of a luck defending against this for much longer. You can see that he's having absolutely no stone. He doesn't have enough for extra castle, and that means that he's out of the game. And that's a pretty big problem right now for LeO's, because these double castles, together with the trebuchets already, and at least a few plumed archers, because there's nothing. This is his whole army, and that's not going to be coming up anything else unless he goes for archer ranges. That's, of course, meaning that Arteras is really having a bad game, as you were saying a bit earlier, rather at the very start of the game, but so is Milenkolin, who is losing the main town center, which is, of course, the only one, because he is still in feudal age, and let's see if Arteras is going to be holding longer than actually Milenkolin did, but Milenkolin already retreated with all the villagers, almost all of them, and I'm fairly certain that Yellow should be doing the same. He cannot really think that he can survive this. He should already be moving absolutely everything into Blue's base, and Blue should be working on, like, I don't know, 200 rows of walls to survive long enough so that High Tower can kill not only Milenkolin, but right now also Milo, and without any kind of significant defense in here, I'm thinking that he might be having actually a pretty good time doing that. Let's see. Definitely could have been played better by High Tower. He could have had at least a few hand cannoneers actually preventing this escape. Even though he wouldn't have killed all of them, of course he wouldn't have, he should have expected that his opponent would be leaving, especially since he has actually seen it, and could have killed quite a lot of Willies and basically put him out of the game, as is right now happening with the yellow player, who is also running away, but the difference is exactly there. You can see that Milo is paying attention and he is not even going to be bothering with his opponent. He has noticed that a lot of the villagers are running away, and with the petards coming through with the castle, oh well, it's looking like the double sling into Milo is going to be a lot more effective than the sling into High Tower on the right side. So yes, they need to defend as much as they can. And unfortunately, High Tower is, yeah, he could be a bit faster, because he's definitely not going to be defending in there. And unfortunately, the tower is, rather the wall is not finished. I think it was also because of some extra petards in here, and with all the plumed archers right in the middle of the economy, this is pretty much it, because there's no army for LeO's to defend against this. And yep, GG is coming right about now. That's exactly that, and very professionally played arena from VNs, and not even LeO's special strategy was going to be enough, even though Milenkolin wasn't happy about it. And the attack was going quite strongly from LeO's on the right, but the double sling was just faster from Milo, so nicely played. And VNs are beating LeO's 2-0 in the round of 16 and are advancing into the quarterfinals of the RTS League's Age of Empires 2 The Conquerors Clan League Season 39. Let's have a look at the achievements, where we'll be seeing Milo having the highest score, of course. What else? But he also played it quite nicely, so he deserves that. Highest army, quite a lot better than High Towers. But it has to be said that, of course, Milo's army was a lot more kind of economy efficient, so that kind of figures that he would be having the high numbers. Pretty much the same advance times in here. Well, GG.